I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be rejected twice, then walk away. Well, what I want to talk about today is something that's really important, because when I look at a large section of guys that come to me to hire me to coach them, or guys that are writing me emails, one of the biggest things that's getting in the way of their success is the fact that a lot of guys get hung up in this idea of the one, or this one perfect girl, and so they meet somebody that they kind of think internally, hey, this is the perfect girl. If I could just convince her to date me or to go out with me, then all my problems are solved. But what happens is they don't really look objectively at the fact that she's not really reciprocating any interest. And so what the guys are used to doing is getting focused on one girl that just pushes their buttons whatever way they do it for them in a way that they like. Then they get fixated on that girl, whether she has a boyfriend, or she's unavailable, or he starts dating her but screws it up, and then she gives him the let's just be friends speech, and so he's showing up, finds out about my work, and wants me to help him get her back. And so what is really important to learn is, because when you get to the place where I'm at, where I can literally look into a woman's eyes, and I'm like 99.9999% certain that she's into me, just by the energy, what I feel, and by looking at her, it's written all over her face. But if you, up until this point in your life, are just used to frustration and things not going well, and the type of women that you like seemingly not liking you, and you get rejected by them, well, this is new stuff. And so what happens is you have to interact with enough women so you can start to recognize the little subtle differences between women you got a chance with and ones that you don't. And when you've interacted with enough women, you start to recognize that you just naturally will talk to more, as time goes by, to talk to more and more women who you got a shot with and who like you. So what's going to happen is, when you talk to women that like you, and you just start avoiding the ones that you can just tell that they're not really that receptive and open to you being there, but instead you start spending your time around women who are enthusiastic, that you walked up and started talking to them, you're going to have a completely different experience of talking to women. And so what happens is, you just naturally, you're talking to more women who you got a shot with, and so it becomes easier to spot them, and so your experiences are more positive. And so when you call to ask a girl out on a date, you're calling somebody who wants you to call, who's hoping you call, who will say, oh, I thought maybe you lost my number, or, I'm really glad you called, I was hoping to hear from you, we seemed to have a really great connection the other night, I was hoping you get in touch with me, or we could meet up for drinks or something. And they'll say things like that. And when you start having those things happen, like when they've never happened to you in the past, and then they start happening pretty much all the time when you call girls, you're like, fuck. It's completely 180 degrees opposite of what you're probably used to. But like I said, repetition's the mother of skill, and you got to talk to enough women so you can start to recognize the things I talk about in my book and in my articles, because once you do and you see it enough times, it becomes obvious. And then your dating experience, your pickup experience, your relationship experience is like night and day compared to the way it used to be. And it's effortless, and it flows easily, and it just changes your attitude. It makes you feel better about yourself. And so the key to getting to that place is that you ask a chick out twice. You want to know, if you ask her out 2 different times and she turns you down, or she was going out with you and you fuck things up, and then now she's rejected you twice over the last 2 weeks. You've asked her out once a week, and both times she gave you some kind of BS answer that you could tell she just really wasn't that enthusiastic about going out with you. Maybe there's another dude in the picture. It's like, who knows? And so at that point, the only thing you could do is just walk away and never look back. And I got an email here from a guy who basically did just that. This is his second email that I've gotten from him. And he says, I did finally walk away and stop contacting her. And within 2 days, she contacted me via Skype, asking me how I was and stuff. And now, what I didn't explain before is that I'm 45, living in the UK, and she's 24, living in Portugal. So it's a long-distance thing, and it's been going on for 9 months with lots of mistakes on my part. I know that now that I've read your book, and I tried to set up a definite meeting and date, I tried, and she kind of avoided the subject. I only spoke to her 6 minutes max. The next day she contacts me again. So I say, let's meet up. And she dodges it again. So I kept it very brief to 5 minutes or so and left it at that. 2 days after, she contacts me again. I say, hey, how are you? Blah, 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 for 5 minutes. And then I say I have to go because I'm busy doing some stuff. Nice talking to you. Keep in touch. After I said that, she had a face like a fucking slapped bulldog. The next day she contacts me again and goes, are you okay? And he says, me, I'm cool, and you? And she sends one of those smiley faces like she's undecided. And I said, what's the matter? And she replied, nothing, I've got to go. And I said, okay, bye. And what it kind of sounds like is almost like she's calling you and she's giving you a dose of your own medicine, where she's basically acting indifferent. It's like someone calls you to say, hey, I'm calling you to tell you that I'm not going to call you anymore. And so, in a way, you're acting different, and it's confusing to her. And since the scientific studies have been done that proves that women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear, she doesn't know where she stands because you've changed her behavior. You asked her out and asked her to come and hang out and hook up. She shot you down both times, didn't seem open to it. And so you don't want to waste your time talking to women that are like this. You want to be talking to women that are like, awesome, yeah, I'd love to see you. Let's get together for drinks. It's a completely different type of dating experience, like I was saying before. And so he says, I've walked away and I made the 2-date setup attempts max. Her interest level is obviously low because she doesn't want to meet up. I'm keeping the electronic contact with her very brief and not being an asshole about it. Awesome, good job. I always tell her it's nice to hear from her and to keep in touch. I'm watching her actions, which is what you should be doing, which tell me that she has very low interest. However, the amount of contact from her is weird. And I would say that she's starting to chase at this point. And because she's getting uncertain and you're not chasing after her like you once were before. And so this builds the tension. And so one of two things is going to happen. She's either going to get to the point where she brings up coming to see you or getting together, or she's just going to stop contacting you. And either way, you only want to be talking to women who you got a shot with, who you're actually setting up dates and going out with. Because women like this, they just waste your fucking time and frustrate the hell out of you. You'll spend hours talking to them, and yet you'll never see them, and you'll never go anywhere with them. And it'll just be a waste of your time. And so you got to look at this whole process. It's like a salesman, sorting and qualifying your prospects. Some of them are going to sign up and buy what you're selling, and some of them aren't. And you just, by using the techniques I teach, it helps you get there as quick as possible, because the worst thing you can do is get attached or hung up on one particular woman. And so if you're just dating and having a good time and dating lots of different women, you're going to be spending your time hooking up with women that like you and want to see you and are willing to go along with the fact that you're dating other women. And then eventually you're going to run into a woman and you're just going to have this amazing connection. You're both going to fall for each other. And then slowly over time, you'll just spend less and less time with these other chicks, and they'll disappear, and you'll end up in a relationship because she won't give you any other choice. So if you find this message of value, you can show your appreciation by going down to the Wibbia toolbar at the bottom of your screen if you're watching this video on my website. Click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information in this video. At the very least, please share this page with all of your friends and family by clicking any one of the social network sharing buttons, which are also located in the Wibbia toolbar at the bottom of your screen. And if you have a question that you want to ask me, or there's a topic that you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, click the Contact Me tab on the left-hand side of your screen and send me 1 or 2 paragraphs maximum detailing your questions, your situation, or your challenge. And just give me several days to get back to you with a response, because I get a lot of email from the internet, and I also get a lot of it from my paying phone coaching customers, and I obviously got to focus on their emails first, but be patient, I will get back to you. And if you want to talk to me right away so I can help you with a specific situation or a challenge that you're having, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. And you can do that by clicking the Products tab at the top of your screen and just follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.